Hey, this is Donald Jenkins, your Master Purpose Development Coach, CEO of the Purpose Development Institute in Atlanta, Georgia, and welcome to the Box Prayer User Network testimonial video. Hey, listen, if there's anybody excited for you to be here and watching this video, I am super excited, and I'm sure that by the end of this video, you're going to find it to be of great value for the men that are in your network. So I want to encourage you, make sure that you watch this video all the way to the end, because you can feel my excitement, but I want to make sure that you can hear the excitement of other men who are putting in the work to do some very important things in regards to our relationship with God. And that is, number one, transform your heart into a spiritual sanctuary. See, we're so used to trying to get men to come to the physical sanctuary, but we fail to realize that it's important for them to transform their heart into a spiritual sanctuary, because when we master that skill set, now we're mobilizing men to take the anointing of God beyond the four walls of the church. And this is where men have come short at. They've come short in being mobilized and taking the anointing that God has placed on a man beyond the four walls of the church. And that's the reason why we created the Box Prayer User Network. We call it the most powerful network on the planet. And as you watch these testimonial videos, you're going to understand why we call it the most powerful network on the planet. Because one of the things that I want to make sure I communicate to you, and that is that this is not your typical men's group. Now, we commend the things that we've done in the past as men, like go fellowshipping together, playing golf, going to sporting events, and inviting a special speaker in to hear a special speaker come in and to motivate and to inspire and to encourage us to be the men that God called us to be. This is not that kind of party. This is a party where we have created a learning community where men are actually developing a skill set on how to do that work to transform their heart into the spiritual sanctuary, but more importantly, allowing their heart to become the seat of God's power. See, that's one thing that the enemy do not want men to understand, and that is how to make their heart the seat of his power. Because what has happened over the years is that the heart of men has become the seat of a lot of things, which is making it difficult to pull men into the things of God, to get them to engage in the things that are going on in the church. So this is an actual skill set. One of the things that we teach in the Box Prayer User course is that prayer is a recruiting event. We haven't seen it as a recruiting event, but it is a recruiting event to where now you can recruit your heart to a higher purpose. And this is the reason why men are putting in the work. You're going to hear from some men in this video that's putting in the work to recruit their heart to a higher purpose. Because if you fail to recruit your heart to a higher purpose, I promise you that there are going to be some things that the enemy is going to use to recruit you to a lower purpose, to recruit you to be in a position to where you are not fulfilling the purposes of God for your life. And that's the reason why we are inviting you to be a part of the Box Prayer User Network. Now, don't be like some men. Some men are going to watch this video and they're going to walk away from this video and say, you know what, I can do with it or I can do without it. They choose to do without. And for those who saying that I can choose to be without being a part of this network, let me give you a little word as we go into the testimony. And that is that in a few short hours, we are achieving, in a few short hours, what it would take 40, 50, 60 years to achieve in regards to the relationship of God, or improving the relationship of God. There's some things that you just can't achieve just simply just going to church, hearing great messages. And we're not saying that those things are not important, but it takes zero skills to show up and hear a message. But when it comes to growing from those messages, that's when you have to have skills. This is the reason why it's important for you to be a part of the Box Prayer User Network, because men are developing those skills. They're developing those skills to transform their heart into a spiritual sanctuary. So don't just hear it. Don't say, well, it's a great idea, but it's not for us. It is for every person on the planet, because there is a specific phenomenon that occurs with every person on the planet. And that's the reason why this coaching tool is important, because now we're able to make that phenomenon work for men and not work against men, so that now men can be empowered to be in a position to empower their families. They can take their anointing to empower their families, to empower their spouse, to empower their church, their community, and beyond the four walls of the church. So you can see I'm extremely excited, but I want you to hear the excitement of the men who are part of the most powerful network on the planet. And we are looking for you to be a part. So if you want to spark revival among men in your church, and we do have the same initiative for women as well. But if you want to spark revival in your church among men, you want to make sure that they are part of the Box Prayer User Network. God bless you, and I look forward to you being a part of the Box Prayer User Network.
Thank you, Dr. Jenkins. Well, the thing that you're speaking of is exactly what my heart is leaning into now, because what the box prayer opens up to me is an understanding from the how to, because that's what I was trained in. Okay, you hear this, you go try to do that, but we didn't know how. There's no training. But the box prayer takes me inside, so that God is not just an ATM for me to go to an emergency. He is the supply, instead of just the place that I can go and get something. It's a place of deposit. And so that's what it's been doing in my life. As I go through the steps, I'm understanding. I'm more aware of the why I do it, not just the how to do it. And that's what's really kind of been a blessing to me, because I've been, walking with the Lord. I guess it would be saying I've been walking in circles. I was moving, but I wasn't getting anywhere, because the understanding of why I even started, why I engaged, was not answered. So I was just repeating, wash, rinse, and repeat is all I was doing, instead of entering into the depth of what God has for me. So now, because of the box prayer, that's opening up to me. Thank you for that, sir.
Wow. Very well said, man. Now, how long have you been born again?
Jesus, August 24th, 1981.
Oh.
Yeah. 2:54 in the morning. That was when I decided, that I really didn't have what I needed. And I say this when I give the testimony, I started at the very beginning. And to me, the very beginning was not Genesis. I dug into the preface so that I can see, what was the drawing factor for men. Because that's the thing that when Jesus stood up in Luke chapter 4, and he said that the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because, see, he addressed the why. He didn't just address the how. And so that's what I wanted to do. And I just kind of forgot to dig into the why. And I just got into Christian habits, if you would.
Watch out now.
Yeah. So now I'm digging into the why of the thing, so that I can align myself with the plan of God, the purpose of God, and the flow of God.
All the way from Detroit, Michigan, just flat out excited always to be asked to share with my brother. I tell you, this is a phenomenon. I'm just so excited as he was sharing his testimony. I had to control myself, because the glory of God is certainly in this place. I appreciated the brother that came before me with his powerful testimony. The box prayer, I just thank God for Dr. Jenkins, because it's a blueprint. And as he's talking about, it gives me the ability to transform my heart into God's sanctuary. And to have God sit in your heart and to do the things God have asked us to do is amazing. It takes courage, to be able to release yourself and put yourself in God's hand, because as he's mentioned, most men are not willing to do that because that's when I've been on makeup. But as I became a box prayer user, I've been talking to people. We must expect, because of this experience, extraordinary. You know, where Dr. Jenkins have gotten us in a place where we've taken the ordinary, going to the church, going through the motion, going through the things that we were told and taught to do, but yet not experiencing those things. And so I'm now experiencing the God faith because of the box prayer. Now, see, it's one thing to have a prayer box, and another thing we talk about is he talk about the box prayer.
Right.
And so I'm experiencing the God. I call it the God faith because when Jesus saw the fig tree and he spoke to it, and it immediately, it didn't say, you know, it was going to, it immediately shriveled up because it was good for nothing. That's the kind of God faith that I'm talking about, that Dr. Jenkins is arming us with the sword. This is the sword. Our good friend Prima Manjari Greenwood said on our call that, you know, Dr. Jenkins is just giving us not only a skill set, but the power of his word, which is his sword. So the prayer box right now for me also is helping me to open up the willingness to change.
Come on now.
Because we've been so comfortable in tradition. And this is what's allowing me to grow in a place where, you know, Ephesians 3:21 literally comes to life. Now unto him is able to do exceeding, you know, abundantly above all that I can think, ask, or imagine, according to the power working in me. But I'm just so delighted because, Dr. Jenkins, it's because I knew many years ago that I'm a divine, inspired, energetic vessel of the Most High God while being in passion and pursuit of abundance. Now I know why he gave me that title. I didn't know why. And so I thank you so much that I now, you know, being in line and purpose. And just, I'll throw this, my Bishop Edgar Van was teaching just past Wednesday about the alignment within the power of God. So as God shared our brother this amazing encounter, he had an encounter with Jesus, just the way Saul did. And I tell you, he's giving him the courage to face the world with what God has given him to say and to do. And I believe it's impacting the people that's on this line. And I truly believe that the best is yet to come. I would say, if I heard my grandmother say, you ain't seen nothing yet.
No.
And so, you know, just allow this box prayer to continue to cut you, protect you, get you ready, build the capacity that you have never seen before. And I tell you, it'll get you in rooms and paths that, as Dr. Jenkins said, this is a phenomenon they haven't even heard of yet. So I turn.
All right. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Man, I'm just gonna tell you, I want to just start off by saying for years, I just been praying to God, asking for, you know, knowledge and understanding. And I know Donald said earlier about, you know, you be careful what you ask for, you know, what you pray for. And, you know, for years, you know, I just been struggling. And since we're talking about the box prayer, but I want to take it to like the box, the ring. So with all those things that when I unwrap my box, unpacking that box, and they talk about those 6 temptations. Man, Donald, I'm telling you, man, I was in a boxing ring with all 6.
Come on now. Y'all must going off up in there, bro.
It just wearing me out. I'm telling you. And I the trainer that I used to have, he's back there, got the towel. He's ready to throw it in. And I wanted him to throw it in.
Yeah.
Because it was like I was just overwhelmed. And then I started reading, you know, the training, the box prayer, crisis management, and purpose management. Man, the box prayer is just basically equipping us for this war. Now you get in that ring, those things are coming at you. You know how to defend yourself. Not saying that you won't be on the ropes, but you're not going to be on the ropes long. So I am just grateful that I can take what I'm learning in the box prayer, because every situation is different. So when you're meeting people, they can, whatever problems that they're going through, whatever crisis they're going through, if you got the box prayer, you got that purpose management behind you that can help defend you when those things arrive in your life. So I am so happy. I feel a whole lot better that I got my new trainer, Donald Jenkins, in my corner, and he got me. I know how to bob and weave and get those things out there. So I'm just grateful that I can have an opportunity to unpack that box in my life, in my kids' life, my wife's life, and then just share it with others. So I'm grateful.
Yes, Dr. Jenkins, I would. I think this is very encouraging, because it's funny that we talk about how church, the way church is, the repetition of going Sunday after Sunday, and how we all desire the change, but yet we don't want to do the things to change. And I think that's the biggest pull, is we're always gonna have Monday's gonna come, Tuesday's gonna come. The whole week is gonna come. The month is gonna come. Next year is gonna come, if the Lord don't tarry or we don't go home to meet him. So it's very important that we understand that we have to reach forward, reach back, and make sure that we're applying these to ourselves. And I'm talking to myself first. Make sure that we're applying this to our lives so we can go out and change the people that we want to see change. And because we know they're hurting. We hear the stories. I just got off the phone with my best friend last night, and he's telling me everything he's going through. I was like, I got you, bro. Keep going. Just trust God. But it gets to a point where you want to get tired of saying just trust God.
Yeah.
Even though it's the truth. But you want to get to the point where it's more than that. Well, I'm tired of, I got to go pray for the solution. But if I'm in purpose management, I become the solution.
Come on.
And I've been knowing Pastor Jenkins for a while now, and he has some outstanding endeavors and things that he's doing. I truly appreciate that every time I talk to him. But I'll share this with you, and it falls right in line with what you guys are saying. I'm in the process now of trying to get back in shape, and sometimes when you're trying to align yourself with God, he got to shed some things off of you. And so I was on the treadmill, and I work out twice a day now, 4 in the morning and late at night. I was on the treadmill the other morning, and I thought I was doing the right thing. I really did. I thought my purpose, I always tell people, my purpose is serving. But God told me on that treadmill, he said, that's not your purpose. And what he was telling me, I'm like, God, but that's what I've been doing. I go to church, and Deacon Calloway he confirmed this. I'll work. You tell me what need to be done. If I need to do it, I'm gonna do it. I ain't gonna buck the system. I'm here not to serve people. I'm here to serve God. And that's my mission. But God said, it's time to shift. That's not your purpose, because what I understood was that's a standard instead of a purpose. You know what I mean? And I thought that was my purpose. But God said, if a man serve me, he will follow me. So I said to myself, wait a minute, that makes sense. I'm saying something that God said that it should be a standard instead of a purpose. So what I need you to do is shift your mentality and shift your mindset on how you look at how you serve me. Because when you serving me, that's a standard.
Come on, brother.
Purpose. And so now he shifted me and said, continue to serve, because that's what I want you to do. Because when you walk with me and serve me, that's what we're gonna do anyway. And so now my purpose is, once I serve you, it's my ability to change you, to do better. And I got this saying that we say good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. So that's my purpose now, to allow people, as I serve them, as a standard for me, to change how you see yourself with your alignment with God.
Yes, like I said, I'd like to reiterate what Deacon Hopkins was speaking about. Like I say, I've been an eyewitness to his servant walk at Global, and I tell you, it's an awesome thing. You know, he's definitely a man that we can count on, and he has always been that way. The problem I have with like with Don Jenkins is helping us with is getting some other men in that same mode. And one of the things that got revealed to me was that's not your purpose. Your purpose is not to try to motivate these men or try to convince them that they need to serve God. You know, that's within their own purview, and that you just need to be ready when they become available. You need to be ready in place, like you said, aligned to make the glory of God be revealed through all our work.